Yes, this is the only video you'll ever need to understand the guitar and play freely all over the fretboard. But only if you've already hit the wall every guitarist hits, where you can play songs just fine, but the second it's time to improvise, you get stuck in a box or completely lost. After a decade of teaching guitar, I found there are only 4 steps standing between you and playing freely all over the neck, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can use them playing over a song you already know. Step 1 is going to be learning one scale. It sounds really simple, but a lot of guitar players kind of learn a scale and then don't actually get it down. So this song that we're going to be doing, Brown Eyed Girl, is in the key of G. So we're going to learn G major really quick and just go over it, and I'm going to tell you how you can actually lock this in. So grab your guitar. So this is G major starting on the 3rd fret of the low E string. If you can't play this scale with your eyes closed, then take a second right now to run up and down it a couple times. Pause the video, I have it nice and big for you, and lock that in before we move on. String. And the reason we need to have this scale down is because our song sits right inside of it. This song, Brown Eyed Girl, is the chords G, which is right at our bottom, C, that's also right inside of our scale here, right? G, and then D. All of these notes exist right inside of our scale, so we need to have it down to a point where it's easy to grab the notes in the scale so we can start to understand how to use them. That's one of my favorites. Which brings us to step 2, which is actually finding the chords inside of the scale. It's easy to say, oh, let's play the scale and then let's play the chords. Oh, they're right inside of it. But you need to actually pick those notes out of the scale and be able to look at them. And a great way to do that is with triads. Now a triad is just a 3-note chord. So instead of playing this full G shape, we just go, boom, just play 3 notes. Whoa, also all right inside of our scale, right? And when we're doing that, we can pick out which notes of the scale they are by labeling the scale a little bit. So if we take our G major scale and label the notes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, literally just counting up with the scale, starting over from 7 because it's the same note as that first note after that. Then our G major chord is just the 1st note, the 3rd note, and the 5th note out of that scale. And it's the same for your open chord, your bar chord, and every chord, even like the C chord shape, right? They all have that 1, 3, 5. But wait, right now we want to stay right inside of our scale. So we're going to find G chord. There's this one I was just playing, which is our root position, root, 3rd, and 5th. Shout out Yinming for the little visual. And then we're going to do a C triad by just going and barring the 5th fret on the D, G, and B strings. So now we can play over those first 2 chords with just... right? Just that little spot. Ba, 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 ba. But we need to find a D triad too, right? Ba, 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 ba. We can play this D triad, which is kind of like our C-shaped chord, but just moved up 2 frets, right? But we're only on the D, G, and B strings. And the reason these notes are so important is because these are the notes that actually tie into the music. If we listen to the loop or the song, right? It very clearly already has a direction in it, right? So if I was trying to play over it and I just played random notes in G major, it'd be like... It doesn't really sound like I'm listening. It doesn't really sound like I'm playing with the song. It just sounds like I'm playing. So we need to know what the notes in the chords are so we know how to follow the music. That way when we're trying to improvise, we can follow the notes that are in the chords. And if if you really want to be able to play freely all over the fretboard, one of the best things you can do is get around other players that are actually putting the time into getting better. That's why I opened a private community where I only let players in that have been playing for over a year and actually play every single day, because I want to get a lot of us together that are really going for it, and I want to help you out, and I want you guys to help each other out, and I want it to be awesome. The best part is that it's completely free. It doesn't cost anything to join. You can come in, you can talk to me directly, ask me questions, anything you want. So it's that second link right down below, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in there. So step 3 is actually creating phrases. We know we have to use these notes in the chords, but how do we make it sound good so we're not just sitting there like playing the notes in the chord? Right, we want to be soloing over the notes, not just playing them. Well, we want to use these chord tones as kind of our home base and then use our scale as a way to work around them. This is the easiest way to start to understand how to actually play over music. So let's just only use the G string. We had these 3 shapes, right? But if we only use the G string, ba, 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 going between our chords, we have the 4th fret on the G string for our G, 5th fret for our C, and then the 2nd fret for our D. So if we play through the loop, we go. So if we use those notes to land on as the chords change, right? Ba, 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 right when that chord changes, but we use the other notes in the scale between it, we'll be properly making phrases. Listen to this. So now we understand conceptually how to make a phrase, but how do we make it actually flow so that when we're playing, we're not sitting there thinking about like, okay, I have only these notes in the chords and only these notes in the scale, and I have to only play those, because that's kind of lame, that's kind of boring. We don't want to be thinking about playing music as though we're doing a math equation. We want to be looking at these equations as a way to understand what we're doing and then allow ourselves to be musical inside of that. So being musical is not really on the guitar, right? Like, let me ask you something. Does this make me any less musical? Do I seem less musical? No, I'm the same guy. I have the same amount of music, with or without the guitar, right? What I'm saying is the music is not on the guitar. You have to find the music in your head and in your ears and then apply it to the guitar. So going back to using those same notes on our G string, let's try and sing them to lock them in with our ears, just those notes. Ba, 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 ba. Now along with the loop. Ba, 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 because we want to really internalize those notes into our head. Oh my God, it's taking my hair with it. Because when we have those notes in our head, we can then think about lines that use those notes with our head and then find them. So instead of just singing those notes because we're playing them, singing that note, ba, and trying to come up in your mind with a line that goes to the other note. Ba, ra, da, ba, ba, ra, da. Ba, ra, da, ba, 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 da, 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 ba, da, 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 da. So you want to think with your throat, I guess, with your ears. I mean, you don't have to sing everything you play, but it's a great exercise to actually know that you're thinking of the ideas in your head, because it's going to be really hard to grab your guitar and go right? You have to form that connection so you can have the ideas on the guitar at the same time as you have them in your head. And the way you do that is, like I said, sing them. Sing them, find them, play them. Oh my God, I have this shit set to like so much delay, bro. I didn't even realize that. Step 4 is putting it all together. We have our scale, we have some triads, and we have some phrasing ideas, but we want to make sure we know how to actually play over this progression and play over any progression in more creative ways than just following one note all the time. Because like we said, when you play without the map, it might sound something like this. And with it, it could sound like this. So to really understand and apply this fundamental concept of music to everything, let's just walk over this brown-eyed girl progression again. We have a G major chord, C major chord, G major chord, and then D major chord. And all we're doing is finding those chords in our box here, in our little scale, if you will, and then we're just fucking around with those notes. We're targeting those notes. So when you get comfortable playing these notes on the one string, just pick more notes out of the chord. I mean, you don't have to always pick one spot, right? You could play a note here, and then play C note here, and then G note here. You can play D note up here, right? The notes exist everywhere. It's just about knowing where by taking the time to find them. And if you want to see how you could actually play all over the fretboard in the next 6 months, then check out this video right here to see exactly how we can make it happen.